Saving money and investing.
So you listen to me and you listen well.
Now, it's what we all want to do more of. Nobody wants to have less money. It's pretty obvious. And I used to be that kind of person that would receive my paycheck and I would think about all the different things that I could spend money on. It was sort of enlightening to receive the paycheck. And there's so many cool things out there, so much stuff that I want to get, that it was super easy to spend the money. And then just like that, it's gone by the end of the month, only to restart the same cycle over and over and over again. It's super frustrating. And I felt like there was no way out until I started doing something a little bit differently. I started gamifying my savings, and I actually had an accountability partner that I'm working with on this stuff too. Now, I want to talk about all the benefits and things that I've kind of realized in doing so, but show you how I set up the systems, because honestly, on my channel, I talk a lot about different investment apps and brokerages that you can use on your phone. My savings and investing accounts are also on my phone, and it makes it super streamlined, really easy to do. I've got some great tools and some great setups for how you can actually make it more fun for you. And it just becomes a lot easier to save and invest. Now, I'm not claiming you're going to be saving tens of thousands of dollars more, but it is going to fire you up more than just spending money on random junk, or at least that's what it did for me. So that's kind of the goal. This also started as a way that I thought I could get my girlfriend a little bit more interested in saving and investing. And I gotta say that I think that it worked. So let's just jump right in. So one thing that I've learned when it comes to your paycheck is that, well, a lot of people don't actually have like notifications on when they receive their money. We've got notifications for pretty much every app that exists out there. It gets really overwhelming. But when it comes to, the things that actually matter most, making money and making your life better, for me, it seems like those are often overcrowded by all the other apps that are on your phone. So the first thing that I've done is kind of point out in several different ways, hey, you've worked hard, you've got money coming in. This is an email that I receive every single time my paycheck is going to hit my bank account. And that kind of alerts me to get the snowball rolling and start thinking through the next steps with what I do on my paycheck routine. So it's pretty exciting. I've also got push notifications on my phone, one from the actual payment system and then another from my bank account when it does receive it. The other cool thing with kind of how I make money is it's a little bit sporadic. So I've got my 9-to-5 income that comes in, and that's cool. Like, that's predictable income that I know when it's going to hit my account. But then with everything that I do on the side, those payments are oftentimes very sporadic. It could be on a random Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, like really doesn't matter. Some of that stuff happens at the beginning of the month, the end of the month. So every time I have worked hard to get paid, I want to make sure that I see that money coming in and out. And so I've actually set up notifications for that, and I got to admit, it's way more rewarding than anything else that comes through. And again, it sets that spiral of, hey, here's what I'm going to be doing next, and I'll show you exactly what that is. And I was just thinking back to when I just graduated college. I had my very first full-time job that I was pumped to start making, real money at. Before then, it had been minimum wage jobs, scooping ice cream, doing random things. But it was the first time that I was getting legitimate paychecks that could have a solid impact on my future. And the very first paycheck that I got, I actually didn't receive. So it wasn't until a couple months later that I went into my bank account and realized that, hey, I'm doing all this work, but I'm not actually getting paid, which I don't know if that's happened to anybody else out there. Like, you're probably so excited on that first paycheck that you jump in and you go and look. But again, I didn't have notifications on back then, and it was to my detriment, because then I had to go to HR, go through the process, and it got resolved pretty quick. But it was just something that like you wouldn't think would happen when you're just starting off in your work career, because every dollar is so valuable and it's super exciting. But for me, I don't know, I'm kind of a lazy person at the end of the day. It was just eye-opening that I needed to point out, hey, when I make money, I need to see that it's coming in. And then it helps you stay on top of those people. When you're in my situation, you're working with different businesses, just makes you have them accountable for what they're actually supposed to pay you for the work that you're doing. And you need to stay on top of that type of stuff. Okay, so I want to talk about this one app that's been a real game changer for me when it comes to saving and investing. And this is something I've got a joint mission on with my girlfriend, actually a joint account that we've created working towards a common goal. Now, every time we get a paycheck, we hold each other accountable to actually depositing money into into this account. And we set a goal for around the time that like a wedding we would have would happen. And basically we've been contributing for a couple months now. So if I click into my savings, you can see that there are different vaults you can have. By the way, this is SoFi. SoFi Investing, I think it is. It's the SoFi account. I got referred this. It's really cool. If you want to check it out, I've got a referral link you can use in the description. You get $25 free for signing up and funding your account. But anyways, you can add vaults into this. So right now we have a wedding vault, but we have plans to add a bunch of different ones in the future. If I go ahead and click on add new vault, you can see there's emergency funds, travels, kids, houses, cars, dining out, splurges, taxes, wedding, and other, all of these amazing categories that you can set up. Now here's where the gamification comes in. Every time we get a paycheck, we hold each other accountable to come back in and deposit a set amount of money. And when you do that, you can click into the vault and you can see that goal percentage going up. So right now we're at 17% of the goal. For our wedding, we're looking at $15,000, which to some of you might be absolutely absurd. To other people, it's probably not super surprising with the price and cost of weddings nowadays. But basically with this, we're looking to do a destination wedding. It's going to be a little bit cheaper for us. So hopefully that can roll in some honeymoon type stuff. But again, that's besides the fact of this video. So let me tell you a little secret. This is how I was able to get my girlfriend interested in saving more money. Basically, it's setting a category that you can work towards to build a future together. Now, if you have a partner or somebody that you're working with that you want to be able to, change your financial future, I urge you to figure out some categories that you can use. And eventually it gets so addicting, so much fun to be contributing this money, seeing your account grow, seeing the percentages go up, that you're just enticed to start new vaults. You're enticed to start new accounts and try to save towards other stuff. And then it just makes it so much easier. So now the gratification that we get is when we put more money in, it's like we're 17% of the way towards our wedding. Now, we're also going to have a house fund, and we could set a much larger goal. Say we wanted $100,000 in that. We can see the percentage of when we're going to be ready to buy a house based off of how much we are saving. And that's all the gamification that I need to make it all worth it. Now, the cool other way that I've started trying to invest more money is by gamifying that element of it as well. So I started this new challenge on my channel here. I got the first video pulled up. I'll link it in the description of this. But essentially what I've decided to do is that every single dollar that I'm spending on non-necessity items, I'm going to invest in the very same company that I spend that on. So if I go and buy $5 from Dunkin' Donuts, this is a terrible example because Dunkin' Donuts isn't a publicly traded company. Let's say I bought $60 worth of a new Microsoft Xbox game. I would then invest $60 into Microsoft. And what I've realized is that when I buy and use things from certain companies, every single day, historically looking back, they are at a hell of a lot of a higher price than what they were when I first started. Now, this has forced me to sort of double my lifestyle expenses to be able to invest more into the stock market. It's this new series I'm doing for about a year. I'm going to see if I can beat the S&P 500 with this really weird strategy. It's not necessarily something that I would recommend for everybody to do, but what I wanted to point out is that if there are certain ways that you can get inspired and feel, fired up to start investing more money, well, then do that. For me, it's kind of crazy to double my life expenses and do it that way. But what that also does is it gets everything in check for me. It makes it a lot easier for me to justify certain purchases. When I really, really want something, I know that I'm going to have to pay double for it. And then when it comes to buying stuff that I don't really need, it makes it way easier to just not spend the money. So in the end, I'm one, investing more money into the stock market, or two, I'm saving more money, and that is going directly back into the stock market anyways. So it's a win-win for me. So at the end of the day, if you are somebody who hates saving, my number one piece of advice would be to pick a goal and chart your progress towards it. It's going to feel like leveling up in a video game. It's going to be way more rewarding to see everything that's going on. Set up those notifications and then figure out ways that really inspires you to be able to save and invest more money. Now, if you guys did take anything away from this video, it would really mean a lot if you click that like button. It helps me out a ton with the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you want to check out the challenge that I am running, go ahead, click this video right here. We'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching.